Hello, it's good to see you this morning. I am so excited. I'm feeling the spring. Thought I'd wear my hat today, feeling the vibes of getting rid of the freaking cold weather. I'm in Utah. I don't know where you're coming from, but it's been pretty cold and I'm tired of it and I'm ready to have warm weather. So I wanted to show you a couple things today. I wanted to show you what core beliefs that are embedded through the Transcend trainings. And I teach this at the Transcend training, but I wanted to share it with you. One, let's see if our beliefs, your core beliefs, align with mine. And two, I'm sure there's going to be some really valuable things that come out of this as I share them with you. Let me share my screen with you. So as I go through this, what I would like you to do is comment below any bold lettering that stands out to you the most. And if you want to be even more open and vulnerable, tell me why that stands out to you. Okay. So number one is respect for the other person's model of the world. Now, this is so important to take on for yourself because for one, people have boundaries, right? And when we all have boundaries and we all have all these different belief systems and memories and the way we grew up, every person is going to act differently than each other. And so I think it's very important to take on this belief to always respect other people's model of their world. Now, number two, behavior and change are to be evaluated in terms of context and ecology. Now, what that means is a person's behavior, we need to actually evaluate it and be very ecological in everything that we do. So my behavior has to be ecological, which another way to look at that would be creating win-wins. It's got to be a win for you. It's got to be a win for me. And if you take it another step further, it's got to also be a win for the world. So I love this belief because I'm always asking myself and doing an ecology check. Is this a win for all of us and the world? Three is resistance in a person is a sign of lack of rapport. There are no resistant people, only inflexible communicators and effective communicators. You're such a punk. My son, if you only knew what he just did. Effective communication, you need to accept that and utilize all communication presented to you. So if you are feeling resistance with someone or with yourself, it's because you need to actually build rapport back again. And rapport can be extremely easy to build back up. I actually teach how to build rapport in an unconscious level in my level 1 training, and it's really phenomenal. And we do an exercise. It's really funny and fun to do. But if you ever feel resistance, you're going to know that it's a sign of lack of rapport. So if this one rings a bell, put in the comments sign. Now, number 4 is people are not their behaviors. You need to actually accept the person and change the behavior, which is cool because this actually gives you a lot of control with yourself and with the environment around you, with people even. You know, I think that it can be challenging when we blame other people and think that it's that person that did that to me. That actually creates a place of stuckness. So I love this belief because it's all about accepting the person for who they are. And then when you change your behavior, it can actually change the other person. that actually brings all the power back to you instead of giving your power away to someone else. And you always want to look for the magnificence in other people, because when you focus on the magnificence, you're only going to see your own mirror of your own magnificence, and it's going to create more magnificent behavior in that other person. How beautiful is that? So number 5 is everyone is doing the best they can with resources they have available. This is the forgiveness factor. So if you really, truly embed this belief within yourself, now you can actually install this belief at the root cause of where the belief is not at, and reprogram that belief at the core belief where this is coming. This is not at where it's coming from for to not believe it. Was that a little bit tongue twister and mind twister? So behavior is actually geared for adaptation, and the present behavior is going to be the best choice available to people. So every behavior is actually motivated by a positive intent. Isn't that interesting? Because that means, does that not mean that every person has a positive intent? So if that's the case, that person that you may have a problem with could have good intentions. And if so, what could those intentions be that you're actually deleting from your mind and not seeing? If this one resonates with you, put everyone in the comments and tell me why. So 6 is calibrate on behavior. The most important information about a person is that person's behavior. So this is awesome too, because there's a lot you can actually do by reading people's facial expressions. You can see what kind of stance they're in and adjust accordingly with your behavior and get the results that you want a lot easier by calibrating on their behavior and seeing, is this person in a good state or a negative state? And when you actually take your power back and say, I could have actually caused that reaction. And then you take another further step back and think, what did I do that could have caused that behavior? Learn from it. And then all of a sudden it can actually completely shift and turn the conversation to something way more positive and get that person out of a negative state that you may have caused them to get into. Now, the way I said that is a little bit causing blame. So we want to actually let go and remove blame from every situation. There's a difference, because when you take on the cause of your own life and remove the blame, really, then you can take the power back that's yours and create change and transformation within yourself and other people. Does that make sense? Okay, so 8, you are in charge of your mind and therefore your results. And I am also in charge of my mind and therefore my results. So it's actually twofold. You're going to notice that everything is twofold. Therefore, taking away pointing fingers, it's not even a thing. So when you take on the responsibility that you know that you are in charge of your mind and therefore your results, and I am also in charge of my mind and therefore my results, then synergistically, we would be able to work together way more in a flowing manner and really create something absolutely magnificent together and transform ourselves, which will in the end transform one another. So I love that belief because then I really do take on my own responsibility for my own mind and my own results. And so do you. Number 9 is people have all the resources they need to succeed and to achieve their desired outcomes. Now, what comes up for you on this? Ask yourself. I would love you to put resources at the bottom and tell me what your answer is. And then I'll have a little discussion with you. I know my answer. So put resources in the comments if you would like to tell me what comes up for you on that one. 10, all procedures should increase wholeness. So everything I do, everything I teach, all of my being is about wholeness. How can I get you to wholeness? Because your unconscious mind doesn't actually need to function in parts. It can totally be whole and totally complete. And if you're not, then I have the most incredible, and sorry about my dog, I have the most incredible technique that helps people that are in a lot of conflict where part of them wants this and part of them wants that, and we create a wholeness within. I'm so sorry about my dog. So 11, there is only feedback. There is no failure, only feedback. Now, isn't that interesting? Because why is it so scary to fail? Are you scared to fail? Could that be the very thing that's holding you back from actually moving forward in your life, in an area of your life, because you're scared of failure? I know I was a long time ago. And when I finally applied this, but not only applied this, I actually installed it within my unconscious mind at the root cause of where I was fearful of failure, and transcended and transformed that belief. And now I could care less about failing because all it is feedback. And when you start applying that and seeing how that is, there's going to be a huge transformation happen within yourself. I'd love to hear what that is in the comments. So 12 is the meaning of communication is the response you get. Now, this can sting a little bit. Have you ever had a conversation with your spouse or a friend or something like that, and it gets pretty heated, and there's so much miscommunication going on? Well, if you're at the cause of your life and you take on the responsibility without blaming or pointing fingers, remember, put that aside, and you apply the meaning of communication is the response you get. So if I take that on and my husband gets really heated and he's like angry now, if I stand back and look at it and think, well, gosh, the meaning of communication is that response that he just had from what I said, I need to be much more clear on how I communicate. I can learn from that conversation. I can let go of the negative charge, and then I can create a better way to communicate with my husband and actually sit down and communicate and have a discussion and talk about it. How beautiful is that? So 13, if that one resonates with you, put response in the comments. 13 is the law of requisite variety. Now, the law of requisite variety actually means that the more flexibility that you have, or anyone has, you pretty much win. So I used to have a lot of problems with this because, like with my sister, she has itty bitties and my 4 kids are teenagers, and her kids that are itty bitty is just, you just never know when they're going to be in a bad mood and what's going on and what's going to happen throughout the day. And she would cancel on me all the time. And I'd get so angry and so bugged because I would set all my plans aside and then she'd cancel last minute or blah, blah, blah. And what I realized is I need to be more flexible and have a game plan, like a backup. So then if I can be more flexible, it doesn't bug me. She can still live freely without me getting unhinged. And then once I figured that out, it doesn't matter if she cancels. In fact, she canceled on Friday. I was going to go hang out with her tomorrow and she canceled on me yesterday. And I'm like, well, that's all right. I'll just get things done. Negative charge gone, and I'm happy. And I'm like, so the more flexible you can win, or the more flexible you are, you'll win. And you'll create win-wins for the other party as well. And all of this stuff is what you can do, not what other people can do. It's so easy to see other people and you're like, oh my gosh, this would help this person or that person. But really, they are your mirror. Therefore, it can help you. I know. So 14, all procedures should be designed to increase choice. Now, I love this because I do know hypnosis. I'm a certified trainer through the American Board of Hypnosis. So I'm highly, highly trained in hypnosis. And there's a limited belief that hypnosis is me hypnotizing you, which in other words would be manipulation, brainwashing, or mind control, which you likely don't even really know the true terms of that, which I'll be doing a workshop on mind control and hypnosis and all of those things soon. But until then, taking on this belief, all procedures should be designed to increase choice. Hypnosis actually increases choice. Surprise, surprise. But it does, because actually not knowing what hypnosis really is decreases choice. Surprisingly, I know you're probably surprised. So everything that I do is carefully planned and carefully consciously spoken about so that you can increase your choice in your life and even open up more options to your life. And, you know, I really have seen so many women that, you know, due to our conditioning, and I'm talking about myself too, I found myself so many times, I've had to reprogram a lot of things, especially because I grew up in a really abusive abusive home, very severely, physically, mentally, emotionally, and sexually abused. And there wasn't a lot of choice. There was a lot of force. And so I've had to do a lot of reprogramming around that. And even with my own children, giving them more choice and more freedom and more of what I didn't have. And it's taken time to let go of a lot of things to be able to do that. But there's so much freedom in having choice and increasing your capacity to have more choices in your life. So I wanted to share these with you because I want to see what comes up for you in each one of these and see, you know, what resonates with you the most. And I can always do like a little spin-off of any of these. But I hope some of these spark something in you that kind of lit something in your mind, in your brain. I would call that like a moment of enlightenment. And it gives you an answer to what you've been searching for. And most of all, being more conscious And instead of looking outside yourself and saying that person needs to hear this, or that's what that person needs to do, look inside yourself. If you feel a negative charge or anything, look inside yourself, see where that is coming from, because that is your mirror. You are the only one with your set of eyes, with your own feelings, with your own ears. And anything you see, feel, and hear outside of yourself is you. So I hope this benefited you today. And I hope that your day is full of sunshine and happiness. If it's rainy, if it's snowy, wherever you are, enjoy your day and find the good in it. Remember, you are powerful, way more powerful than you can likely comprehend. Build the fortress within and transcend the limits of your mind. We'll see you later.